Guys, it's Tash, aka Motional. Um, so if you hear me refer to myself as Tash or Motional, yeah, both of them is me. Um, Quick introduction because I realized the last video I did, I didn't even do any kind of introduction or anything. But let me just get into it. Today, I want to talk about friendship groups and being aware of what kind of group you're in and what kind of people you have in your circle. Um, and what is for you and what isn't for you. The reason why, because your friends, they are important. I know they say friends come and go and all of this stuff, blood is thicker than water. All of these things I agree with personally, but I do see value in friendships as well. Not so much anymore, as I've grown and certain things have happened. But I do recognize that it is a very, very important thing in people's lives, friendships. Very, come on now. Um, from start to the end, do you know what I mean, of life. But the other day I was watching a show. I'm very into my housewife shows, and I sit there and I indulge in my snacks. And I was watching Married to Medicine. The other day I was watching Beverly Hills. They have a mad thing going on as well to do with what I'm talking about today. But the latest one that I watched was Married to Medicine. I don't know if you know it, but quick information on it. Sorry guys, if you see me making noise or breathing heavy or anything like that, bumps ready to, you know, yeah. So anyway, whole point I'm making is watching Married to Medicine, and it's basically doctors or those married to doctors. So yeah, you got the men and the women, married together. Some of them might be doctors. I think there's just one doctor couple where the man and the woman are actually doctors. I think, yeah, and that's Contessa and I can't remember her husband's name. I'm so sorry, can't remember his name. But the whole point is, you got these two women. There's a bunch of them, but these two women are in conflict in the group, and this is what tends to happen in the housewives anyway. You get conflict and all of that stuff. The reason why I'm talking about this is because it's very relatable, and I can relate to it. It frustrates me. I'm not gonna lie, it really frustrates me, and it makes me look at certain individuals in my friendship groups differently. Whereas, and sometimes I just don't engage with them. Not sometimes. Recently I've just chosen not to engage with them because it's like, well, you're toxic. What is your purpose in the friendships that you have? Because it just seems like you have an agenda to just be the center of attention, and you don't care what happens to anybody else. And I'm not for that. I'm not for that. Somebody else could be for that and be like, oh, it's cool, that's cool. But this is where I'm going with this whole topic. So Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contessa, because both of them are doctors, they have a dispute where Heavenly, went too much in discussing Contessa's marital problems. She's finding excuses of saying, she put it out there. This is not what the topic is. I'm just saying, giving you a quick insight into what the argument is about and what's going on in the show. So the rest of them now, this is my point now. The rest of them are, when they gather together, these arguments happen. They're deciding Dr. Jackie, she seems to be the head one, and she's decided to try and mend the friendship for the 100th time, because it's been going on for 2 seasons now, this argument. I think anyway 2 seasons, but anyway, Dr. Heavenly, she's one of those people that like to jab. So she'll say things on purpose and about serious things as well. And so you can lose your shit. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna put it straight. She will say things to make you want to lose your flipping shit. And they're supposed to be mending, and she is like, she's one of those women that like to say, oh, I'm godly and all of this stuff. So she tries to put out there like she doesn't know what she's doing. Oh, but I don't know what their problem is. Okay. Yes, sister. Stay there. But then you've got obviously Dr. Contessa is very emotional about it because it's about her family, her marriage and stuff. She's very emotional, very angry about what's been going on. And you got Heavenly jabbing, and you got all of them sitting around thinking, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is my point now. Everybody around is sitting, hearing what one of these women are saying to the other, not agreeing with what this woman is saying at all, and nobody is saying anything. Sorry, I had to. I get so, it's like, what is going on? I'm like, why? So, sorry, I get like this. I'm not playing. My daughters be looking at me like, I'll be screaming at the TV, are you dumb? And my daughters be coming, poking their head around the corner like, oh, what's mom watching now? But yeah, so I'm like, you're supposed to be, you call each other sis. We're a family. We're around each other's parents and having whatever celebrations together, kids and all of this stuff. And this is real life now I'm talking in, because I've got quite a few friendship groups. I went to 3 different primary schools, and then I did the college, the school, the college, the university, and jobs and all different sorts of stuff. And obviously I host and I sing and stuff. So I've got a good healthy lot of people around me. Not constantly. I'm very, I've grown into what I can and can't tolerate. And this is the point that I'm making, because I can speak on it from my experience. You got what I mean? Not anybody else's. I'm trying to have a more of an understanding of the other person. Yeah, the different people, trying to get insight. But the whole point is, in reality now, you're in these groups, these friendship groups, where they're essentially your family. Come on now, you talk to your friends almost every day. You're putting out things that they know, only they know, and you have these little moments, and your friends are involved. And when it's a group of you guys that are supposed to be together and something happens, you've got the ones that will sit there. I am not talking about no one in particular. If you feel like I'm talking about you, I might be, but I might not be. Because seriously now, you've got the ones that will sit there. And there's a few that will just sit there. And there's different reasons why they will sit there. And I could have the reasons wrong, but they know why they're sitting there. But then we got common sense. There's ones that you see why they're sitting there and what they do, because it's friendship groups normally years and years and stuff. And you've got the ones that will, I just went to cross my legs. I don't know why I tried to do that. I'm so sorry. Lord Jesus. So anyway, so they'll sit there and they're observing, and there's ones that they don't know how to help. They want to, and they just want you to stop. They genuinely want you to stop arguing, because they don't want no one to be in trouble and everything. Good-hearted people and all that stuff. You got the ones sitting there like, I don't like that one, so yeah, I hope the argument goes on that side. They're thinking that they're just watching, and these are supposed to be, your family essentially, innit? So they're not saying nothing. They can see this one's wrong. Let's stop this one. Let's let me, you get me? Because you're supposed to be able to speak freely. This is my opinion. Don't shoot me down. You can correct me where you think that I'm wrong. But you're supposed to be like a family. You're supposed to be able to speak freely and respectfully and help a situation. So you're sitting there and you're watching friendships go down the toilet, destruction in your circle, and you're sitting there just watching for the groups to, the particles to scatter, and then next thing you know, you're happy. They're happy, you know. You start seeing a little bit more activity from them, a bit more celebration, a bit more, you know, yes, with the side that they wanted to be on, celebrating with the side that they want to be on, and it's thing, and everyone's seeing it, you know, around and everything. Because come on, these friendship groups, you're social, you're going out and all of this stuff, and then you've got the ones that are generally don't know how to help. So you know, they just want, you know, they panic in conflict and everything. Look, you know, so I understand that, but my point is, when you have a circle and you see anyone is doing wrong, I've had this where, you know, people like, oh Tash, you know, way later or after a you know, a conflict or anything, Tash, you didn't have to, you know, but why didn't you say that then? I have to ask, why didn't you not say that then, if you felt that way, to try and fix what I was doing? Because I'm sorry, I'm that friend where I'm there, you're having whatever, if I know what's going on, or you're having your conflict in front of me, and I can see this person is being bad mind towards this person, I'm not sitting down with the rest of you like staying quiet, you know. What are we doing in life? What are we doing in life? We're supposed to be a family, and we're sitting down enjoying the foolishness. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about the little bickers that we have that we all might be giggling about. Oh Jesus, oh my God, how can you say? I'm talking about grown people, men and women, and obviously it happens in male groups, it happens in female groups and stuff. What I've seen in male groups, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sorry. I just don't expect it. I must be. I am. We're all a little bit sexist, isn't it? Because you just think, oh come on now, it just doesn't suit men to behave like this, and that's wrong in certain ways. But I have my reasons why. Because I do have my reasons why, actually, because I just expect that we're going through hormones and stuff, innit? Obviously I'm going through a lot of hormones right now, but no, generally I'm saying women go through hormones and stuff, so you expect, you know, their hormones getting things, they're getting their feelings, all that stuff. When men start, you know, I'm talking about well men, not in case people start watching and say, oh, but men could be going through some hormonal things as well. When men start doing little things, I just, okay. But anyway, my whole point is, let me not trail off. I do this, innit? So I'm that friend that if I'm calling you out on your shit, and you might not like it, tell me, discuss it with me. Do you know what I mean? That's what I expect. But then I understand sometimes why you have those that will stay quiet, because let me tell you something, I'm not going to change, you know, it's happened to me. You will talk out, you will open your mouth, and you will call people out, and next minute you're the bad guy. Everybody turn upon you. But this is the thing. If that's happening, then that makes me question as well. Then what is this? Because it's not just friendship groups as well. Let me be clear. If family groups as well, because come on, sisters and brothers and cousins and all that stuff, if you're sitting down on all this stuff, oh, me and my brothers and sisters, I'm one of 8. Rest in peace, the baby of the family, my baby sister. But so there's 7 of us now, and 6 of us get together on a regular, you know, minus the older brother. But the 6 of us, we sit down, we're all close in age, like 2-3 years apart and stuff. And we get together and we have the craziest debates. It will start so innocent, and then it will go into, you know, your opinion, or, you know, like difference of opinions, and it could blow up. So, and then what will happen is, what used to happen in my family, in my brothers and sisters group, this is a good example. What used to happen is everybody stays silent. Wow, 2 of us are arguing. No one's saying nothing. I'm not normally the silent one. I might be the one that's arguing. No, I'm not joking. I might be the one that's arguing in the argument, or the one that's arguing to say stop, like, no, you're wrong or anything, but I'm not normally the silent one. But a lot of us, we used to stay silent. I did have my moment where I thought, oh, I'm not getting involved this time. Because it's family, innit? And it's like, I'm not getting involved this time. You're not getting involved for me. That all, you have these kinds of things that happen and no one says anything. And then after, you get in your little huddles behind one of the people's back, and you'd be like, yeah. Or you're with one of them that was arguing, you'd be like, yeah, she was in the wrong, he was in the wrong, he was in the wrong. Yeah, acting a little bit crazy. Where and all you and then you're with that one, and it's fueling the fire. And the thing is, there's different, that's why I said you need to know. You need to know the people you're in friendship groups with. This is why I'm going to tell you now, because that could be happening. People could be going and saying, oh, that it's not always malicious. There's ones that are doing it maliciously, and there'll be ones that are just confused with themselves, where they just want to keep everyone happy because that's just how they are. They just there's something wrong, but nothing wrong with that. I hope you get what I mean, because they're not doing it with a malicious intent. They're doing it because they just don't want you to feel like they haven't got your back. They don't want no one to feel like they don't have their back. So it's not with malicious intent. Now the malicious ones, now, I'm sorry, I do not care how this sounds. I do care. You can see my facial expression. I do care. I'm trying to pick my words carefully. I'm not trying to draw anyone out. I've seen this in a few of my friendship groups. You have the person that's sitting down there and they secretly don't like people in the group. Now, this is where I struggle. I do struggle a little bit, because I'm wondering, what do these people actually, what should they do? And there isn't really a right or wrong answer. I just don't like these people, and I've realized that it's not a argument thing or anything. I just don't like you. I see what you are, and I will stay away. I will just decide not to deal with you. So they don't like people in there. It's either they don't like people in the group, so they will purposely single that person out. All of a sudden, if that person is arguing with that person, they will stay quiet, see how it pans out, hoping things will go so bad that that person, they're not talking no more, and then they'll start excluding that person from things. Now let me be very, very clear. You have a friendship group, a family. If you are not in trouble with, if you're not in argument with somebody in that friendship group, there should be no reason why you are Xing that person out. There should be no reason why you are Xing that person out, But you start to X that person out where before everybody was included in everything. So now you start Xing that person out. But not only do you do that, you start, okay, so I can't put these two together because they're two different scenarios. So this is the malicious person that don't like somebody in the group. So they'll just start Xing that person out. Now you've got the person, and it could be the person that feels the same thing, don't like somebody in the group and wants to be the head person or whatever. I don't know what, because I'm going to explain something about me in a minute. And it's a donut brain moment that I have. So you've got the person that literally wants to be, the one that everybody loves, not head controlling and everything. They just want to be the one that everybody loves, and they might see a friendship getting too close and they don't like it. So whoever they see getting too close, they want to diminish it because they want to be the one in everybody's picture. I know it sounds so crazy, but it happens. I'm telling you. And this is what frustrates me because I'm a person, and you roll out with your entourage or your sister group or anything, and you just want everybody on their best game. Everybody loving everybody. No, what do you mean? It don't matter if you miss a picture or anything. That's my girls. That's my boys. I'm that person. So it's like, while I'm sitting at home and can't do nothing, I will be seeing, bare different family pictures and, oh boy, that's my people. Ooh, it makes you feel good. You got people that, I'm not there. Oh, why is she up in there? Why is he up? And they're ready for something to happen to break it down. And when it happens, I promise you, and I'm saying this, and those of you that are watching it, yeah, you might then go back and realize that there is this person in your group and this is what happened. This person who never used to celebrate anything or all this stuff, they start celebrating. I'm telling you, they're celebrating. All of a sudden, they're posting every day. They're here, and it's like, oh, I see now, and it's not a bad thing. It's just knowing. It's not something to be vexed about. You might be in your feelings, depending on who you are. I'm just like, oh, I'm just like person. Oh, okay, cool, because I got time. I ain't got time for this. I literally, let me explain something about me now. Why these things don't bother me. I just notice stuff. I'm very, very, very in tune, and I'm very good at noticing stuff. But then I'm very, very, very naive, and things could just, So I will go out with a group of friends, and they'll be like, "Oh, we'll come home, and we'll come home after a night out and stuff." And you'll hear, "Did you see that one with the?" And did you what? And I'm like, no. And I'll be like, what are you not talking about? I literally am that person. I'll be like, what are you? And a lot of my friends be watching this and be like, yeah, that's yeah, that's you, Tash. But I'll be like, what are you talking about? Where? How? When? Where? And they'll be like, where were you? I was in the dance with you guys, drinking my drink and busting a dance, or trying to find a vibe. You get me? You get me? Like, do I look, am I comfortable or something, my head trailing, or, thinking of a memory to do with the song? I'm there with you guys, but I spent my money to enjoy myself, not to watch what she was doing and he was doing and all of this stuff. So I'm literally normally the one that misses out on the topic of conversation for the night. It's cool. I had a good time. We all had a good time. But I'm normally that one and be like, oh, Tashi, do you understand what I mean? So it's happened a few times actually. But yeah, so that's normally me. So when you have those kinds of friends in your group that want to be or feel funny because they weren't there, or they want to be the one that's in all of the pictures, or, to be loved or whatever, it doesn't faze me. I don't see it as something to be angry about, because that's not what I want. I just want everyone to be cool and stuff. But my thing is that it's very dangerous. It's serious now. Let me get into serious mode. It's very dangerous because your friendship groups, like I said, become family. And those kinds of people that are waiting to break people down or find little mismatches and all of that stuff in the friendship groups, you don't know what you're doing to who you're doing it to, or you don't know the psychological trauma that you could be causing. You don't know what people can take or can't take. But it's very interesting because the whole point of this is I just don't understand why. No, I do understand. Yeah, the point is I do understand now. That people go into groups. Sometimes you're in groups because you just want to be seen as you're a part of something, or you want to be in groups because when you have your event you want a lot of people there, or you want to be in groups because I don't know, insecure. There's different reasons. My whole point is, so I do understand. Once you sit down and you think about it, you think, okay, well, this is why this person not just that person, individuals are in this group, and if that works for them, then it's fine, it's cool. There's no need to, I remember I used to get into my feelings about certain things a lot of the times, like, and then, I had to learn. I'd be like, just because it's not for you, Tash, or you've come into something for a different reason, it doesn't mean that it has to be the same for, you know, that one over there or that one over there. It's like Lisa or Left Eye, which truly, I'm saying these words because obviously these names, obviously, because they're just nobody to me. But yeah, you've got to learn that, because otherwise you risk ruining friendships because you're in your feelings about what people do in the friendship groups, or you risk your sanity by staying in things that you can't handle and that you don't agree with. Do you get what I mean? Because people have their own agenda, and all I'm saying is that we need to be aware of what we're in, what is for us, and what we can tolerate, because a lot of your life is invested in these groups, and or in your friendships, and it could be that it breaks down at a moment where you're at your lowest, and then you've got no one to turn to. Not everybody has family, not everybody has alternatives that they can turn to, or different friendship groups. Sometimes people, this is the whole point, sometimes people are in just one set of a friendship, and they could be in one set of a friendship and that breaks down, and they've got no one to turn to, and they're not capable of standing on their own. Like, personally, I went through a period where all my friendships, not, I can't say all of them, but most of them started breaking down at the same time. And I'm a very strong individual. A lot of people say it, but sometimes I think what the reason why they're saying it, I don't agree with. It doesn't matter. I'm a person that, if there was nobody around me, I've had times where I've just had to leave myself in a box. I don't want no one around me. I can handle that. Do you understand? I need that sometimes. There are people that can't handle that, and that's madness for them. Do you understand? That's madness psychologically. And if people are in friendship groups and they can't handle, they have no one else to go to, and they can't handle dealing with things by themselves, that's sad. It's sad and it's dangerous, and you shouldn't play around like that. Do you get what I hope I'm making sense. But people shouldn't play around that. So if you are one of those people that like to swindle in and all of that stuff, fair enough, but just be aware of yourself, aware of what you're doing as well, and who you're doing it to and stuff, because there has been, a lot of times where I've spoken to people and they're like, they were mad suicidal, like they had no one to turn to. And, the other day a family member came to me and said, they lost all, they were smiling and they were, telling me the story pleasantly, but at the same time they let me know, obviously it hurt. They were like, what's going on? Like, they lost a lot of friends all at the same time. And I had to say to them, I won't mention any names because I didn't get permission to talk their business. And she's very lovely, and she wouldn't mind anything, because she didn't, from what she was explaining, she's still confused, like, just turn on me. And I explained to her, I said, cause you know what, I just came out of all of my groups all at the same time, and all during traumatic times, where I was grieving for, my dad, my sister, my cousins, my friends. A lot of deaths were happening at once. My kid's father decided to do some mad scandalous business, cheating and all sorts of stuff with some stalkerish woman that was stalking me and my whole family. Everything was happening all at once, and it's so mad, because if I didn't have my backbone, and I have a large family, as I've explained, like, that's just my siblings, but outside of my siblings, my cousins and everything, I have a large family, so there's always somebody to turn to. And it's mad because outside of my friendship groups, I have my individual friends that are soldiers and ride or die. I had people. So when things were breaking down and I was experiencing, and I had to look at, whoa, yo, this one's doing this and that. Do you know what I mean? And at a traumatic time, I was able to have myself. But if I didn't have myself, there were people around. There's people that don't know how to have themselves because they're so invested in that group that they're in, and that's their safety net. So you've got to be careful. And there's so many reasons why I wanted to have this, wanted to talk about this topic. A lot of it is, I get so frustrated when I see it. I do. I'm thinking, what? And why can't everybody else see it? And why is everybody else putting up with it? Because everybody else is in a friendship group for their own reason. There's no right or wrong. It's just be aware of what your reasons are doing to another person if you decide to act on it. There's no right or wrong. There's no, we all, in a lot of things we do in life is for a reason, and it's for our own individual reasons. But in terms of friendship groups, you think, when I sit down and think, oh, but why is it only me that's seeing this? It's not only you that's seeing it. Other people will be seeing it too, but other people will be willing to put up with it or turn a blind eye to it for their own personal reasons. And it might not be malicious. It could be, like I said, proper, genuine reasons that there's no negativity attached to it, just fear and confusion and not knowing how to intervene and stuff like that. But my sister passed away a few years ago. She committed suicide, and she was with a group of friends, and it's our suspicion, it has been our suspicion, that there was bullying, because it is, when in friendship groups there's bullying going on, and there's all different types of bullying. And my whole thing is, we don't know. It's geez, it's something that we tried to investigate, and did a whole inquest and all of this stuff. So there's different reasons why I wanted to talk about this particular topic. And it is because I get frustrated within my own friendship groups of why we don't call each other out, because we should feel very comfortable in calling each other out and letting each other know if we're doing wrong or something sounds wrong, or why you're acting like that, and not fueling the situation or wanting the situation. But also because it is very personal to me as well, because it does, I've seen a lot of damage being done by it. But my point is, to conclude, just be aware. You have to be aware of these things. It's not say, oh, go and investigate all your friends and all of that stuff. No. Just be aware of why you're in something and what your boundaries are. I hope that this has helped somebody understand or look at things a little bit different. Let me know if you disagree with what anything I've said, if you can offer some insight, because I'm still learning these things. It's just interesting to me, and so I share it. So subscribe. My Instagram, Transparency with Fire. Same with the YouTube, and same with the TikTok. Comment, let me know. Thank you for watching.